All right, I'm Adam Kennay from Kennay Farms Distilling. What you're looking at in the background here is the bottling line. It can do about 400 bottles an hour, give or take. Some days it's 300, some days it's 500, depending on breakdowns. During sanitizer, we actually got about 600 bottles an hour up to 800 bottles an hour out of the system. But sanitizer doesn't need to be as precise as alcohol, if that makes sense. 18 months old. Palletize some, put some on racks, go up in there. Then starting right here should be some of our, actually over there it's going to be our oldest bourbon. And West Virginia barrels are here. Then it's Independent Stave Company, should be over here, called ISC. They are out of Lebanon, Missouri. These should all be ISC, but you can kind of tell when you look at them. See how this is a little bit darker in color in here and a little bit blonde? So that's an ISC barrel right there. And then we're going to get the Barrel Mill. They are out of Minnesota. See, it's a little lighter. They sand their barrels and a little cleaner than the metal right here. And then I also have, that one was, oh yeah. So when I sample a barrel, drill a hole in it, drill a hole, and then you can, but then you got to plug it back up.
Yeah.
So these are little wedges they send you for like when you do barrel repairs. Like a lot of times when you fill a barrel, you'll get like a wormhole.
Yeah.
And so what you'll do is you have a punch, you hit it with a punch, and you drive one of these wedges in it. And
Gotcha.
so, all right, so yeah, Barrel Mill, ISC, and then West Virginia again. So most of our barrels come from, right now, I think West Virginia finally took the lead. It was Barrel Mill. And so everybody you talk to, everybody claims something different, right? They claim that the northern white oak leads to sweeter product because of the hard winters. And if you go down south, Kentucky, they say, well, it's our mild seasons that leads to a more mellow situation. And West Virginia claims that they have both a hard winter and a mild summer, and that's what leads them to be the best barrel company. I'll find out here in about 5 years. Who's actually telling the truth. So far, everything has tasted wonderful from all three companies. They've all been wonderful to work with, no issues. Literally, when I ask it up for a barrel, for a whole semi-load to arrive, they arrive on time. And it takes about 2 hours to offload a semi-load. The first semi-load we did, Uncle Rick and I thought we could do it ourselves. Huge mistake. So we called in a bunch of the farm boys, and thank the Lord, nobody died that day. It was like, July, let's say probably 30, 20, whatever, late July, hotter than hell. And Rick actually passed out from dehydration. And so then I'm like, we need help. And then farm kids, so now when we offload, we have about 6 people, set up. They're all offloaded by hand and then put on these racks, and then we fill them.
So here's a question. You guys have obviously a system on when these barrels are going to get cracked.
Yeah.
And that, is there any long-term plans? Do you have a barrel you're going to sit on for 75 years? It'll be somebody else's? So
that's completely up to Uncle Rick and Aunt Doris, right? But we have talked about our first barrel, just letting it sit, or maybe it's our 1000th barrel, let it sit, and maybe we'll start doing that and then let it sit for 20 years. But how much is going to be left in there? Because sometimes you lose a lot to angel share, the devil's cut, but how much to be in there? But it'd be nice to find out, and that would be a wonderful, in my opinion, special release. That'd be awesome. So right now, yeah, I know we've saved number 1, and then maybe number 1000, number 2000. We'll see.